Hello. We're looking at how to complete Excel Module 6 SAM Project 1. Let's get started on this one. Start, and then there are two files, instruction files and the start file. Let's go ahead and download this. All right. So the instruction files, I'm opening the instruction files. I'm going to move to the side here. And I'm going to open the start file. To the side. All right, so let's take a look at how to complete this project. I'm going to put this to the reading mode and then enable editing here for my start file. And we're going to start by renaming the file. So file, save as, browse, and I'm going to store it in the same place where I downloaded with 2 at the end instead of 1. Save. And step 1. All right. So Cyril works at Fish and Chips Electronics, which sells an expensive computer called Fish and Chip Systems. The school help teach computer science and electrical engineering. Cyril wants to summarize some of the information on chip and stick electronics product data into tables to help them train a new sales associate. Switch to the systems worksheet, select range A1 to H1 and format the range as table. Okay, so let's move on to the system. So we need to switch to the systems worksheet, which is this one. And then we're going to convert this range here into table. Okay, so to convert this into a table, you highlight A1 to H9, and then we are going to format the range as table. So I'm just going to select format as table once I select this, and then I'm going to select table style medium 14. So it's table styles medium 14, medium, so table style medium, and then 14. So that is this is green table style medium 14. All right, so I'm going to select this one, green table style medium 14. And when you do that, it asks if your table has a header, and then it also confirms the range you want to convert to a table, right? So we're going to keep the default, click OK. And then once you convert it to a table, you see that the tables have this menu, right, on the heading. Like you can expand this, and then you have this menu which allows you to filter by number if it is number, by text filters if it is text, and so on. Okay. So we're going to change the name of this table to systems table. So let's go back and select the table. You can click anywhere, and then you can select the table, and then you can go back to the table design. Now you have a new tab here. So click on that, and then you have a place where you can actually go and change the name of the table. So here we're going to call this table systems table and press enter. So you have named this table as systems table. All right. Moving on to the second step, Fish Chips Electronics approved a new third-party sensor for use with fish chips system. Switch to the census worksheet, enter a new record to the end of the census table as shown in the table below. So we're going to move to the census worksheet now. Let's go to the census worksheet, and then we are going to add a new record to row 15. So let's do that. Row 15, we're going to say S487. And that's going to be 550. So as you add the new record, you see that it adds that record into your table. So you don't have to go and recreate this table. So it adds it as you add the table. And then we're going to change this to uppercase S. Okay, moving on to step number 3. Sort the sensor table from smallest to the largest by cost field value. So we have the cost field value here. We're going to sort the table by the cost field value to smallest to largest. So you can do that from this menu here. So you can select from smallest to largest, the first option. So that sorts everything from smallest to the largest. On the sensors worksheet, Cyril want to display only sensors that are compatible with fish chips 3 systems below the census table. Use an advanced filter to copy all the records for the sensor compatible with fish chip 3. So whether it's compatible with fish chip 3 or not, the compatibility is given in this column. So what we're going to do is we're going to set an advanced filter so that we would show only the fish chip 3 compatible devices, sensors over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and say yes in E19. And then we're going to create the advanced filter based on this criteria. So this is the only criteria we're giving. So if this column has yes, we're going to filter that and then put it over in this table. So we're going to go and create a advanced filter. So advanced filter, you can find it under data, and then you have advanced filter. So it asks you whether you want to filter in place. We don't want to filter in place. We want to copy the result to another location. So list range is the range given here. So this is our list range here, which is A1 to F15 as the list range. And then criteria range is A18 to F18, F19. That's our criteria range. And then we want to copy it to below this table here. So we're going to just highlight from 821 to F21. And once you've highlighted those ranges, you can go ahead and click OK. And you can see that based on this criteria, it has filtered only the sensors which is fish chip 3 compatible. All right. Moving on to step number 5. Switch to displays worksheet, apply wrap. So we're going to switch to displays worksheet here and apply wrap text formatting to E1 to G1. So E1 to G1 here, we're going to wrap the text there. So select E1 to G1, and then we're going to go to Home tab and select Wrap Text option. So that's going to wrap the text, displaying the heading completely. Step 6, remove the duplicate record in displays table. So displays table. Now you can find that over here. So it's if you go to table design, so this table is displays table. So you can also find that out by expanding this and then selecting displays table. That will highlight the table. So we're going to remove the duplicate record in displays table. So that is this table. And then you can see that when it is formatted as a table, you have an option which allows you to remove duplicates, right? So I'm going to select remove duplicates, and then by default it has selected all the rows. So it will remove any rows which has exact same content in all the different columns. So it's going to compare rows by row, compare all the fields in each row. So I'm going to leave the default as it is, and then click OK. So it found one duplicate and then removed it. Okay, so if you go back and see, it had a duplicate there. So if I undo this, you can see the if you just look at the display IDs, D9651 and D9651. These two records are same record. Okay, so we are going to just remove duplicate by clicking on remove duplicates, and then click OK. It would remove that duplicate value. The next step is step number 7. LED displays are the most popular displays sold by Fish Chips Electronic, and Cyril wants to highlight these displays in the table. Filter the table to display only the those records with the type, column, value of LED. So so LED is given in the type here. So LED is a popular one. So you can filter once you have this in a table. You have an option to filter by text or by number. So this is a text filter that we are using here. So you can click on type, and then you can go select all to unselect all, and then select only LED. So this will select only the LED displays, and then click OK. So now it shows only the LED displays. At the beginning of the year, Fish Chip Electronic makes a bulk order of cases for each item they sell. Cyril wishes to show his sales associate a snapshot of the number of cases that were ordered, sold, and are available at the warehouse. For each fish chip system, Cyril already sorted the table containing his data. He just needs to insert subtotals into the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to cases subtotal. Now if you look at this one is sorted by system compatibility. You have Fish Chip Classic, Fish Chip 2, and then Fish Chip 3. So they all group together once you're sorted by it. Now once you sorted by it, now it becomes easy for you to add subtotal. So if you want to show total after each grouping, then becomes easy when you sort it. So this is already sorted, so you can subtotal them now, but you cannot subtotal when it is a table. Now this is a table. We can see that when you select that it is a table. Table cannot be subtotaled, so you need to convert that to a range first. Okay, so we're going to convert the cases subtotal to range. So to do that, this is like putting it back. We format it into a table, and then we can change it back to range by selecting the table and clicking convert to range. So let's go and click convert to range. So it asks you if you want to convert to a normal range, say yes. So this is not a table anymore, it is a range. Now you can go and apply subtotal. So to add subtotal, what you do is you go to data, you have outline option, outline group here, and then here we're going to click subtotal. And this asks you a few questions here. At each change, where do you want to subtotal? Okay, so you can select where do you want to subtotal. So subtotal should be inside each change in system compatibility value. So we'll select that system compatibility. We want to put a subtotal after each change in system compatibility. So that is after fish chip classic, we're going to put a subtotal. After fish chip 2, we're going to put a subtotal, and then there'll be a subtotal after this. And then what do we want to do? We want to sum what? And then we want to use sum function. So you have another function, we can use sum. But do we want to sum? We want to sum 2019 inventory field, and then we want to sum the cases sold field, and then we want to sum cases available field, which is already selected. So only those three fields we want to sum. Subtotal should replace the current subtotals and include a summary below. So here that is already selected, replace current subtotal and should include a summary below data. And then we're going to click OK. Now when you do this, you can see that it adds a subtotal after fish chip classic. Now the total for that cases are 125 in the inventory, cases sold 68, and then cases available is 57. And then you can see that subtotaling under each. Now you can click one of these buttons to show a summary. Okay, so if you just say 1, it'll give the grand total, inventory, cases sold, and cases available, summary by each system compatibility, and then this shows everything. All right, next, Cyril wishes to highlight some additional data on the cases told by Fish Chip Electronics. He first wants to identify how many options are available for each type of case. Switch to cases worksheet. So we're going to move to cases worksheet here. And then switch to the cases worksheet and then complete the following steps. How many cases options are available for each case type? So in cell C2, so which is here, we're going to use count if function. So count if function is like a combination of count and if together. So based on the condition, we are counting, right? So what we're going to do is count the number of cases with unibody case type. Use unibody as a criteria and criteria argument, and case table has body type. So we can start with count if function, and then we're going to give the range. So the range here is cases table. So range is cases table. So you can see that the table has been named, so it comes up, and then you can give what you want to which field you want to use. So here you can see that when you give the cases table, it gives all the fields in the cases table. So I want to use body type. I'm going to double click on the body type and then close brackets. So that's going to highlight this. So it's going to take this range and then count only those matches the criteria unibody. So I'm going to give unibody within double quotation. So anything which has unibody will be counted. All right. So we have given the criteria argument. When you press enter, it gives you an error there. So let's try to figure this out. There is a problem with this formula. Yeah, we did not close the brackets properly, right? So here I used I used a bracket. I should have used a parenthesis. Okay, so I'm going to change this to parentheses here and then press enter. So it tells me there are 10 items that has the body type of unibody. So in cell C3, we are going to use a similar one. Instead, we are going to use 2p's as our criteria. Okay, so again, we're going to say count if case table, and then body type again, close bracket, and the criteria is going to be 2p's and close bracket. Just ensure that you add double quotations around the criteria. And there are 11 count. And then moving on to the next step, in C4 is the same thing. Range is cases table, and body type, and the criteria is compact. So there are 2 compacts, right? So we have just 2 there. All right, so that's using COUNTIF. And then cases sold here. Here we are going to, now we just counted the items for each body type. Now cases sold, we want to find out for unibody how many cases have been sold. And then for each unibody, we have 17 here. And then this has 28. So if it is unibody, we are going to sum all of them. So we are going to use a combination of, we're going to use a function called SUMIF, which is like a combination of if and sum function. So we're going to go and start with equal SUMIF, open bracket, range is going to be, so here with the range is what we want to compare. So in this case, we want to compare the body type with the criteria. So case table and then body type. That is what we want to compare. Our criteria is unibody. And then it asks you for sum range. So what do you want to sum if this is matching? So we don't want, we can't be summing, if you don't give anything, it'll try to sum body type, which cannot be summed, right? So you have to give another field to be summed. So this is going to be cases sold. Cases sold. So that's our SUMIF function. So we're comparing if this range has the word unibody. If it has, we're going to go and get the cases sold and we're going to sum. So this will find the total of unibody cases sold. And we do the same thing for 2p's. So SUMIF, the range is going to be cases table and the body type, and the criteria is 2 pieces this time, 2p's, and we want to sum cases table, cases sold. Cases sold and close bracket. Same thing for this. SUMIF range is going to be cases table, body type, criteria is going to be compact, cases table, cases sold. So that is 187. So we have compact cases here 81, and then we have another compact here 106. So that is 187. All right, moving on. So we have done B and C, and then we are going to move on to the next step in range H8 to H30. So H8 to H30. Create a new icon set conditional formatting. H8 to H30. So this is this range here. We're going to use conditional formatting that's found in home. Conditional formatting. We're going to use icon set, and then we're going to use we're going to use 3 signs icon set in a conditional formatting rule. So this is a custom one. So let's go and set it up. So we're going to select conditional formatting, and then we're going to say new rule, and we're going to select icon set from here, and we're going to choose 3 arrows or 3 signs, which is the third one from the top. And we're going to change how this behaves. So if the number, so it says number type value, with the number type value. So we're going to select number here. So this is also going to be number. So if the number type value is greater than or equal to 60, so we have greater than or equal to sign. So we have it's greater than or equal to 60. We are going to use green circular icon, so as given here, and yellow triangle icon if the cell with the number type value is less than 60. So I'll already changed this to number type is less than 60. Less than 60 and greater than or equal to 25. So we already have checked that less than 60. If it is greater than or equal to 25, and then between that and that value, less than 60, it's going to be a yellow triangle, and then for the rest, it's going to be it's going to be it's going to be 25 here. So for the rest, it's going to be a red diamond. Okay, so anything below that. All right, so just make sure you add icon set here, and this should be 3 signs, and then you're going to change this to number format, number type, not percentage, and then this should be 60 and 25, and then click OK, and see how that works. So anything above 60, it's going to be green circle. Between 60 and 25, it's yellow triangle, and then less than 25, it's going to be red diamond. All right, moving on to the next step. Step number 13, apply custom sort to multiple fields to the cases table so that the table is first sorted by system. First order system compatibility. So let's do this. So we are going to apply custom sort here. So I'm going to select anywhere in the table and then go to data, and then I'm going to look for sort option. So sort here, I'm going to select this big button here, sort, and I can add multiple levels of sort. So first I'm going to start by system compatibility, A to Z, add another level. This is descending Z to A. Okay, so this first one should be Z to A, and then second level, body material, and then A to Z, and then adding another level, body type. Body type in the ascending order. Okay. So first one is going to be Z to A, and then body material is going to be A to Z, and then finally by body type in the ascending order. So you have multiple levels of sort, and then you're going to click OK. So when you do that, you can see that system compatibility is sorted, and then within that sort you have body material sorted, and then within that you have body type sorted. Okay, so under plastic you have two pieces coming first and then unibody. So multiple levels of sort there. All right, so add a total row to the cases table. So should appear in row 31 with all cases. So when it comes to tables, it's easy to add a totals table. You don't have to go and write a formula there or function. You can simply go to the table design, and then you have total row option, table styles option. You just select total row. You can see that there is a total row at the end, and then you're going to add total for G31, which is 2018 inventory. So we're going to add sum for that. All right, so that is step number 14. Step number 15, upon reviewing of case table, serial notices the cases available column needs to be added to the table. Add the calculated column to the cases table. So this is cases table. So we're going to add a calculated column after this this column here, right? In the range A7, yeah, as described below. So we're going to go to I7 here and then type cases available. So when you press enter, you can see that it adds that to the table. So you see this automatically. It adds the table. You know that by the way it looks. Okay, and then in I8, which is this one, enter formula without function using the structured reference. So structured reference is when you're using the field name instead of using a form or the cell reference. You're using structured reference. Okay, that subtract the value in cases sold from the inventory column, right? So what we're going to do here, we're going to start with the equal sign, open brackets. So when you use a square bracket, open square bracket, it recognizes that you're trying to use a structured reference and gives you all the name of the fields in this table. So it's giving the name of the fields here. So I'm going to use 2018 inventory. Okay, close the square bracket. So that means it's going to select that field minus, and then I'm going to select cases sold. So open square bracket and then select cases sold and then close square bracket. So this is called a structured reference, and I'm using that in my formula instead of using cell reference. So instead of saying G8 minus H8, I'm just saying giving the name of the field. All right, so once you press enter, multiple values, which is not supported in this table. it's asking you to use this formula. All right. So when you use that, it's going to give you the entire values. Okay, click yes. So that works fine. So it should be at 2018 inventory and then at cases sold. All right. Using the table's total row, sum the cases available, so we can do that easily. I'm going to select sum, and then that sums it up. All right, moving on to the next one. Fish Chip Electronics also sells a packaged set that combine popular fish chip systems with a LED display, a case, and a simple project guides. Package table on the package's worksheet identify system and display include each package by ID number rather than by the name. So we'll want to set up a simple lookup table to make it easier for his new sale. For his new sales associates to identify what is included in each package. Switch to package worksheet in cell H3. Create a formula using VLOOKUP function to determine the type of system included with the package using the following parameter. So let's move on to the packages, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look up, given the package ID, we're going to go and look up the system name. So in H5, H3, okay, we're going to start by selecting H5. Yeah, so first we'll do the J3. The formula should use a cell J3 as a lookup value, which is this one. The range G7 to H12 as a table array and 2 as a table index. Right. So in cell H3, so which is this one, we're going to add a lookup value based on the system ID here. So let's start with the equal sign and then VLOOKUP. And then we're going to use the range. The lookup value is going to be J3, comma, lookup range is going to be G7, H12. So G7 and H12, this is our range. And then the column index number is going to be 2 because we want the value from here. It's going to look up. So it is looking up 4036. 4036 is here. It's going to take this value, fish chip 3 mod C, and then put that value over here. So that's why we're adding 2 here. We want the second column value. And then press enter. So that should give you fish chip 3 mod 6. So it looks up any value that is put here with this table and then give the value over here. Next, we are going to do cell H5. In cell H5, we're going to create a formula that again looks up. So we look up, and the lookup value is going to be H2. That is the package ID, right? And then we're going to look it up over here in the package ID table. So the table name is packages table, so that the table has as a name. So we're going to use that table name, packages table. That is our range. And then what do we want to look up? So we want to look up the cost. Cost is given here. So its column index number is 4. Okay, and close bracket, and then press enter. So the cost is $66 for P1263, P1268.7. So P1268.7 is here. The cost is $66. All right, moving to the next step. Serial also wants to highlight the number of packages associated with the latest iteration of fish chip systems. The fish chip 3 mod C+. In cell H16, which is this one, create a D count. Number of packages associated with fish chip 3 mod C+ system using the range A1 to D22. So let's start with a D count here. D count is database count. So our database here is A1 to D22. A1 to D22, which is this. Okay, packages table. So when you're giving databases, it's important to give the column headers, comma, and the field that you want to use is systems ID. Okay, so we're going to give it like system ID field, and then the criteria that we need to satisfy is given in H14, H5. So this is over here, H14, H15. That's the range we're giving for the criteria. So it's the criteria is that system ID should be equal to whatever the value is given here. So it goes and checks the system ID, and then it's going to count the packages which has that system. Okay, so close bracket, press enter. There are 5 packages that uses that system. And then let's go and do the next one. We'll find the average cost of fish chip 3 mod C package. So here you can use D average. So it's the same database. Okay, package table all, and then the field is going to be cost. So we're going to average the cost. And then our criteria is the same. H14, H15. So it should be H14, H15. That should be the criteria. I believe there's a typo here, because the criteria should be related. I mean, criteria should say like the name of the column, and then the system and the criteria that you want to satisfy. So it's going to go and match 4037 in system ID, and then close brackets, and then press enter. So average cost of fish chip 3 mod C+ is $73.81. All right, so go and check the screenshot given here, and then once you see that everything has been satisfied, you can go and submit. Good luck.